Hi, I'm here with Virginia Myers, and she's with Center Community for Truth and Transparency, and we're going to talk about the recall elections. How did the recall elections come about and why?
Well, it started out, we had some issues going on at board meetings where the Board of Education and the superintendent were not being real functional, having a lot of disputes during board meetings and such. And so we put together a committee called the Center Committee for Truth and Transparency because we felt that these issues were big enough that they had to be addressed.
When is the recall election?
At this point, the recall election right now for James Sanchez and Phil Barros is scheduled for February 24th.
Thank you. I was also wondering, how many votes were required to recall them?
How the recall procedure works is if you feel like you have, it's very important that you have real reasons to do a recall, and the county clerk makes you state what those reasons are, and they have to be justifiable reasons. So how we did the recall was we came up with the reasons that these men were not being functional on our board. Many of the things they were saying were not true. They were not, in our opinion, they were running with very much of a personal agenda and not just doing things that were good for kids. And things that supported that for us were, we had people, third-party organizations coming in and telling people, telling them about all these things that we were doing good. You know, how our test scores were going, how we were improving our school district. Our superintendent had just won Superintendent of the Year, and now we have 2 board members asking for him to be fired. You know, it was, to us, totally unjustified, not supported by third-party documentation. It wasn't us going out and saying we're the best school ever. It was people from the outside saying your school is on the right track. You're doing things where other schools want to come visit you. You're being a model school for the state in many ways. And so our committee decided, you know, we can't let this go on. We've got to do something. And that's why we started the recall petition for James Sanchez and Phil Barros. And how you do that is you go up to the county clerks and you get a petition. You have 300 words to say what your reasons are for this recall. And then you have to collect a certain amount of signatures. And that signature is based on how many votes those board members got during the election. And you have to gather 40% more votes than they were elected by. And that's the nuts and bolts of how you circulate your petition.
Okay, well, thank you. And it seems like from what I've read from the Center Community for Truth and Transparency that we have gotten more than enough votes to recall them, and hopefully we can get this recall done and that we can get our school board focused again and on the right track. And
yes, I think that's all our goals is. All of us just want our school to continue on the path it's been going, which has been very successful, making improvements every year.
Okay, thank you.